You won't believe the quarterback that Caleb Williams was just compared to by an NFL analyst. Let's talk about it, people. What is going on? Y'all, Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below and make sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Real quick, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor for today's video, Underdog. Underdog just dropped prediction markets, guys, spreads, totals, and team outcomes. And the best part, you can combine them with player picks for bigger multipliers. Sign up today with my code Faiz, F-A-I-Z, and make a $5 fantasy entry to get $100 in fantasy bonus entries. Prediction markets are now live in 25 states, including Texas, California, and Florida. And Underdog is available in 40 states, over 40 states with player picks and draft games, prediction markets, player picks, all on Underdog. Okay, so if you missed us over the weekend, Howie Long, NFL analyst on Fox Sports, said Caleb Williams is basically his generation's John Elway. Yep, that's right. John Elway, the great John Elway, is who Howie Long compared him to. And man, oh man, seeing that comparison obviously kind of lit the internet on fire. The video started going viral. And then I'm like, I got to talk about this because obviously, you know, it's a big name right there. We're talking about a top 10 quarterback of all time in NFL history, right, with John Elway. And look, when Howie basically compared him to John Elway, like, let's use the context here. He's saying his generation's John Elway, right? So he's just basically saying, hey, if I had to compare somebody from my generation that Caleb reminds me of, I'd say John Elway. And it's like, oh, you go through the mental exercise in your head and you're like, all right, well, clearly he's not saying that Caleb's already a multi-time Super Bowl champion and NFL MVP and, you know, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He's basically saying, hey, when you take a look at the arm strength the kid possesses, he's got an absolute cannon. When you take a look at the athleticism that the kid has, his escapability from the pocket to evade sacks, that reminds you of John Elway and what John Elway was able to do and how he kind of, at the time, revolutionized that because you didn't really see quarterbacks doing that. So in that aspect of it, I do understand the comp. I do understand the comp there. So I don't think Howie is just, you know, being hyperbolic here and just giving a hot take and doing a direct player comp because we're talking about a quarterback in his second season versus a Hall of Famer. We're not, you know, doing that whole hot take exercise here. So in a way, I'm like, wait a second, he is right that, you know, you see the same traits there. Big, strong, strappy quarterback with a cannon of an arm, with an absolute, you know, hose of an arm. And then you've got the athleticism, the escapability. One of the things that makes Caleb so unique is the fact that, you know, he is this kid that isn't just a one-trick pony, just being a pocket passer and you know, not able to move in. Here's the thing. I know the biggest sort of criticism for Caleb Williams this season has been his accuracy, and it totally makes sense, right? His accuracy has been not great, right? The completion percentage needs to go up more, absolutely. But one of the things that I believe makes Caleb Williams so valuable in the modern era today is that he is not a one-trick pony, is that he is a guy that can do a little bit of everything. And it's like, yes, I would love to have a super accurate quarterback like a Jared Goff, a Drew Brees, a Tom Brady, you know, but I also feel like in the modern day NFL, you want guys that can, you know, be a dual threat that run the football. And so, you know, I know the comp was made when Caleb was coming out, but I think, you know, Patrick Mahomes is a great comp to Caleb Williams, not obviously in the sense of the accomplishments because there's way more that needs to be accomplished. Patrick Mahomes, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, NFL MVP, kind of the same comp we're having with John Elway, but it's like you see the same traits, being able to throw on the run, being able to do things that other guys just can't. So it's like, yeah, Caleb is always going to be compared to these guys that are just uber talented because that's what he is. He's uber talented. Another former number one overall pick, by the way, being compared to John Elway, also a former number one overall pick. But at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about. It's just talent. We're not talking about other stuff, which is where Caleb needs to go ahead and improve on. So Overall, I don't think Howie was crazy with the take. I think it makes sense. Stylistically, it makes sense. But obviously, a lot of people are just going to look at the accomplishments and be like, all right, what are you doing here? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. I don't think Howie Long was being crazy here with the take of Caleb Williams compared to John Elway. Hopefully, his career ends like John Elway's did, and he has a Hall of Fame career, but we'll see about that. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.